Everyone, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Edinburgh Town Council meeting for today, Monday, October 13th, 2025. We'll start with our roll call. Council President Mr. Piercefield should be arriving late, but he will be here. Mrs. Buck? Here. Mrs. Sweet? Here. And Mr. Bryant?
Here.
Okay. Our clerk treasurer is here, Rhonda Barrett. And our town manager, John Myers. And our council attorney, Mr. Dustin Huddleston, is with us by phone tonight. So, first up, we have the minutes of our council meeting of September 8th and council meeting of September 22nd. So now, Rhonda, do we want to look at these closely since we're...
Yeah, the September the 8th, the only, let's see, who was absent? Ryan was the only one absent on the 8th. So
we won't be able to, see, we tabled them, right?
we tabled because Ryan was
because we didn't
absent.
have a quorum.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can approve these, but we can't approve.
So both of these,
No,
Yeah, I think,
Mike and I have the-
Because at the last meeting, it was Ryan, Miriam, and Sherry. Deb and Mike were absent, so we couldn't do the 8th minutes.
You can't do them tonight.
Yeah, we can tonight because the 4 of you were there from the 8th.
Yeah, the 8th we can do, we
Yeah,
can't
you
do the
could do-
22nd.
Now we
But the
can't do the
22nd, we
22nd
can't
because-
unless Ryan shows
unless
up.
Ryan gets here.
Good catch, Deb.
Well, I was thinking about that.
So I make a motion to approve the council minutes from September the 8th.
Second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the council meeting minutes from September the 8th, 2025. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, none. Motion carries, and then we'll carry on to the other, we'll table the September 22nd, 2025 minutes until we hear from Mr. Piercefield. Next up on the docket is our claims. Mrs. Barrett.
Yes, in your packet, you received a claim docket in the amount of $436,109.35. Claims have been reviewed and signed.
Anybody have any questions, discussion? Okay.
I make a motion that we approve the claims of $436,109.35.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay, motion carries. Next up, you're up again, Mrs. Barrett, with ordinance number 2025-13.
Yes, that is the 2026 budget appropriations of tax rates. Scott, would you like to chime in on that?
So tonight is the formal adoption of your 2026 budget that we've been working on for the past couple of months. Previously, public hearings or public come in and give their input on the budget. There were no comments to that, so that would have been noted. For tonight, there is an ordinance prepared 2025-13 that will formally adopt your appropriations and tax rates. As we mentioned several times, the adopted the adopted tax rate and the adopted levy that you're going to adopt tonight are going to be inflated to give you maximum flexibility for the 1782 of those tons, usually in November and December. So with that, the levy that you're going to adopt with this ordinance is $6,301,800. And the tax rate that you're going to adopt is 3.2797. As I stated, that's going to be inflated. So if you look at what your actual tax rate is going to be looking at a levy of about $5,433,000 and a tax rate of 2.2150. That would be just under what was approved for the 2025 budget. That does hinge upon the redevelopment bond that has been discussed for a couple meetings now. We'll need to make a decision on that relatively quickly because we will run out of time to get that process done. If you don't move forward with the redevelopment bond, that will decrease your levy by about $300,000. Your tax rate would actually come in significantly lower than last year at 2.1274. So just a couple things to keep in mind when you're deciding whether or not to move forward with that redevelopment bond. That's all I have. Any questions on that?
So we would go ahead and formally adopt the budget, but knowing that bond could be discussed, we're just on a time frame with it, right?
Correct. The bond has been advertised and it is with the adoption. It's a $300,000 levy. And we're putting $300,000 payments as well. Both the levy and the payments would be slightly less than that. We want to make sure that you have that you can levy enough and without having firm numbers. We want to make sure that you still have enough categories. So it's not a huge amount in the bond, but it will affect that tax rate. Like I said, between 2.22 and 2.12 is essentially what the difference would be.
Council, anyone have any questions? Rhonda, is there anything else you would like to add, or John?
No, I think Scott covered it, just like you said, just making a decision on moving forward in the time frame for the bond.
So we can go ahead and pass
Yeah, we
it.
could,
That's probably something that we'll want to know about this week or next, because if not, you're going to run out of time to.
And it's going to stay in there.
It'll have to be done before December 31st.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some work to do for that.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure we have ample time to do that.
yeah, because if the process is not started and we don't do the bond, then it comes off of the levy and that rate goes down.
Yeah, they'll adjust the levies, the DOJ will adjust the levies based on the bond if it actually doesn't go through. If not, they'll just pull that rate from the
Okay. Thank you, Scott. John, did you have anything to add?
No, just other than the bond, you guys decide to move forward with that. That's what our rate will be. If not, it'll go down.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-13, 2026 budget appropriations and tax rate.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor to approve the ordinance number 2025-13, the budget appropriations and tax rates for 2026. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. Okay. Next, we do have the, as Scott mentioned, resolution 2025-9. Rhonda, you're up with that as well?
Yes, every 2 years, we are required to approve a capital improvement plan for our Johnson County edit funds. In 2023, the plan that we approved was for, to use that money for downtown revitalization and economic development employees. The plan that's been presented to you tonight mirrors what was approved in 2023. So it is ready for approval and so we can get it submitted to the county.
Thank you, Rhonda. That was a good explanation and notes as well. Anyone have any discussions or questions for Rhonda? Entertain a motion.
I make a motion to pass resolution 2025-9, a resolution adopting a capital improvement plan for the Johnson County Economic Development Income Tax.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, none. Motion carries. Next, we have the Westler invoice number 48000 for the water treatment plant. Mrs. Garrett.
Yes, this invoice is engineering for water treatment plant in the amount of $6,258. Bill has reviewed the invoice and has approved for the charges on that. So it needs approval to pay and approval for signature. Typically it's Ryan, but if he's not, since he's not here, Miriam has signed off on it before. So it needs to motions and approvals.
Everybody okay with it? Motion to approve the Westler invoice for $6,257.50.
Thank you, council. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay, our second motion.
And then motion to have Vice President Miriam Brooks to sign the invoice.
Second. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Motion carries. Next, you're up again, Mrs. Barrett, the AIC Trex Memorandum of Understanding.
Yes, the AIC is the American Associated Indiana Counties. They have a program that's called TREX, and you can partner with them to collect outstanding debt through state tax refunds. We have approximately 300 delinquent debts that total about $75,000 that go as far back as 2013. We can turn in up to $25 to be collected through state tax refunds. The only cost to the town is $3 for each letter that they mail out. If, say, for example, if you had a bill and you got a letter, it gives you the opportunity to come in here and pay your debt. If you don't, then it will be withheld from your state tax refund. If it's withheld from the state tax refund, Trex charges the customer a $20 fee, and the Department of Revenue charges a 10% fee to withhold that. So the only cost to the town is $3 per letter that we mail out.
Okay.
So I don't know if you guys would like for Dustin to review the memorandum of understanding. I've talked to some other cities and towns, and it's a very successful way to capture bad debt.
Yeah.
So only $25 at a time?
A minimum of $25.
Minimum $25.
Yeah. If it's less than 25, they won't mess with it. But if it's $25 or more, then they will.
2,500.
Oh yeah, if it's $25 or $2,500, they will. And so we've got bills as low as 25, and we have one bill that's like $1,800.
Oh, okay.
So if $3 per letter, and it's approximately 300 outstanding bills. So to send the letters out, it's going to cost us less than $1,000.
Yeah.
And it's a continuous thing.
Yeah.
We can keep it constantly updated when somebody doesn't pay their old title. After 2 months, we can turn in the date.
Does he need to review this, you think? Or?
I don't, that's up to you. If you want him, this is their standard memorandum of agreement that they use with all cities and towns. So that would be up to you.
Yeah, we'll update Mr. Piersfield here. I'd like to state for the record that it's 6:12 p.m. and Mr. Piersfield has joined us. Ryan, we were just going over the AIC Trex Memorandum of Understanding to help capture some of these delinquent electric bills. And Rhonda had explained that we have about $75,000
In bad debt.
outstanding,
Outstanding
bad
debt.
debt. They won't bill them if it's under 25, right?
Right.
But anything over, she has one that's as high as like $1,800. The only thing that's the town is out is the $3. Is that
Per letter.
stating that correctly off your info here?
Mhm.
And
Postage.
yeah, the postage, yeah.
Well, actually, Trex, they mail the letter.
Oh,
We pay
they do?
Trex
We're just
$3 per
paying.
letter.
Yeah, we'll just pay for that. But long story short, we were asking if we thought that Dustin could go ahead and review if we thought that's where we're at. So,
Yes.
okay, and I agree too. I think it would be worthwhile to capture some of that. So, okay, I'll finish this one out then. So we'll entertain a motion then to approve for Council Attorney Dustin Huddleston then to review the AIC Trex Memorandum of Understanding.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none. Motion carries. Okay. You're welcome.
All right, the approval of public official bond, Ms. Barrett.
All right, we have public official bonds of $15,000 each for Hector McCardo as the police pension board secretary and John Henderson for the fire pension board secretary.
Any questions on that, council?
Do we need separate motions or can we make one motion?
I would go ahead and do them separately that way. The document are long.
I make a motion that we approve the Indiana official bond for Hector Mercado.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I also make a motion to approve the same Indiana public official bond for John Henderson.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the correction to the July 28, 2025 council meeting minutes, Ms. Barrett.
All right, on July 28th, there was a motion to approve 3 board members to the 77 Fund Board of Metropolitan Police and Fire Commissioners. That should have only been for the police commissioners, as there's currently not a fire commissioner board, because we don't have any firefighters in the 77 Fund. So we need to make a correction to those minutes. If Dustin's on the phone, I don't know if we need to re-motion that or just a motion to correct those minutes. I'm not sure what to do on that.
Did you hear any of that, Dustin? So in reference to the Fire Merit Commission and the Police Merit Commission, there is no members of the fire department that are 77 fund eligible. But we originally made the motion for the police and the fire. Do we need to make another motion overruling that one, just make it in reference to the police department?
Do that, or just motions to approve the right minutes. It's just reference to the vote.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's a lot easier. Thank you.
Yeah.
Come back on that.
Yeah, come on. Yes, sir.
The budget billing discussion, again, Ms. Barrett.
Yes, we do a budget billing for our utility customers. And the way it is currently, the rate is set for an annual amount. And sometimes, like this summer, we've had a very hot summer, so catch-up bills, the final catch-up month sometimes is fairly large. And we've had a few, not a lot, but a few customers. So I'm proposing to kind of be in line with CenterPoint Energy and do it every 6 months, change the amount.
So it's not so much.
Yeah, so that if the bills are getting higher, then the budget amount would raise to help cover whatever past due amounts are. And I'm also wanted to ask, there is a meeting coming up on budget billing that I would like for the staff to attend. It's on October 23rd, and so I'd need to close, it's a virtual meeting, so just close the office for like 2 hours that morning for them to attend that training. So just kind of a dual thing that, are you guys okay if we look into doing it every 6 months? And then,
I am.
Yeah. So I think it, very much so.
okay, so I guess a motion to give the okay to change that, and then a motion to close the office for 2 hours for staff training.
I make a motion to go ahead and make budget billing every 6 months instead of every year.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Also make a motion that we close the office for 2 hours on October 23rd for budget meeting training.
Second.
From the hours of 10 a.m. to 12.
Yep.
p.m., correct?
Mhm.
That was the second.
Mm-hmm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Well, this is just all about Rhonda tonight. Let's do trick or treat.
Sorry. Trick or treat. Obviously, it's Halloween time. So in 23 and 24, the hours were from 6 to 8:30 p.m. So you guys need to set the hours. Do you want to do the same time? Do you want to do them less, longer? you know, what, that's your, up to you.
I say we change the hours either 6 to 8 or 5:30 to 8. I think 8:30 is too late.
I do too. There's so many little ones and it's so dark and by then and the traffic and everything, so. I mean, if they want it as early as the 5:30 to 8, that gives them 2.5 hours. If we want to bump it from 6 to 8, that still gives them 2.
Yeah, and it, for years it was like 6 to 8, and then a couple years ago, I know, I look back in '23, it changed to 8:30. Don't know why, don't remember why. And then so we adopted the same hours last year, so hours totally up to you guys.
Is it on the 31st?
Yeah, yeah.
We'll do the road closure and
I think
I think
Sarah,
that
yes,
was-
I think some of Sarah
That
Beth's-
was next on the,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and I know the hours, I think we were being consistent with the rest of the county on the 6 to 8:30.
I just think 8:30 is too late though. 'Cause- And honestly, there was not a lot of people. There was just stragglers from 8 to 8:30, but they were still out there and wandering around. And it's late, it's a school night, you know, parents have to work and I just think 8:30 is too late.
Yeah.
And what do you guys think?
6 to 8.
Yeah, I think so.
6 to 8, yeah.
Work with Sean and the chief. If you do it exactly, I think last year was,
Last year
I
was
felt better
good.
living on East Main Road.
Yeah.
I know you did with the traffic, so it seemed like that was a really big thing.
And Chief Little even took his cart around, or his own personal cart, and like made several trips.
Monitor the, yeah.
Yeah, to monitor the whole road, so yeah, that was great too, so. Well, I'll make a motion then that we, set the trick or treat hours for, this holiday season from 6 PM to 8 PM.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ron, if you have nothing else, well, let's.
I am done.
All right, Sarah, Beth, the road closure request. I may have jumped the gun on you,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, go right ahead. So, yeah, I'm trying to remember last year, I want to say that we did close at least an hour beforehand.
I think
And
so.
I think street department had just all the cones set up and then the chief went through and, we got all the 5 streets closed, so. yeah.
Because even though we say 6 o'clock, they still start coming in at
They do.
5:30 and.
You good with that, Sean?
Make a motion, for the road closure request for Halloween night, October 31st, to take place starting at, 5 PM, and it'll close at 8 PM.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Be closed from 5 to 8. 6 to 8.
All right, no other business. Mike, you have anything?
No, I don't have anything.
Ms. Sweet?
I'd like to commend the golf course, the Edinburgh Community Education Foundation. We had our golf scramble there a couple of weeks ago, and they went out of their way to accommodate us, and it was just a really, really nice event. Thank you, Wayne, for everything.
No, I don't have anything to say.
Sure.
I thanked you last week, Wayne, for the use of the carts for the parade. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate that. I think that's all I have right now.
John?
If you guys like to go back to the minutes and approve September 22nd.
Yeah, we will have to do that. Yes, thank you.
And with that, then it's only,
Yeah.
the 3 of you that can vote on it.
So Ryan, myself, and Teresa. Okay, did the 3 of us have any discussion about those minutes? Okay, we're going to interject here. I'll make a motion to approve the council meeting minutes of September the 22nd, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, John.
Now, John, picking up my slack, I appreciate it.
No, you weren't here for it. You missed it.
Yeah.
No, I have nothing else. The department's out working, getting ready for winter. The street department's trying to get their trucks ready, preventive maintenance. Water department's been busy, the electric department, they're all working together, sharing equipment, doing a great job.
Good to hear.
No, I don't think so. I was gonna bring up the 22nd minutes, but
Oh,
John saved me. He got, somebody else got to talk.
Sean? Sean? Nothing? Nothing from the police? All right. Wayne? Stephen? Bobby? No, I don't think. I'm actually no dog, right? Sean, you back there, I think.
Yeah.
You got anything? Bill, I know you got something.
Oh. So, week before last, we went down to the river crossing and moved, how many loads of dirt, how many loads of rip wrap, and got my water main covered up. Ryan contracted did a real good job. Got that covered up and off my list of 40. So that, also on Westwood, we had our previous meeting today, whatever you want to call it. Bid opening will be October the 29th. We'll have two different ones that day for the mixers in the towers and the water main project. So hopefully we'll stop improving those, approving the Western invoices and say February. Just depending on a lot of the material that we're getting, there's some of us 90 days out of getting that material when it goes to bid October 29th, gets approved or whatever. So hopefully within 90 days of October 29th. And other than that, everyone's done good.
Can you get pictures?
I've got pictures to take, I just haven't been able to get them on, paper yet, I'm gonna just go get, pictures made at Walmart with that. Actually, got it down to what it looked like. We don't have to make-
You recall the river crossing was where the water main was
Yeah.
clearly visible. It's no longer clearly visible. Take a big act of God to get that thing down. So, all right, thank you, Bill. Open it up for public comment. If already, please state your name. I am so sorry. I heard from Sarah Beth, so I assumed she was done. Julie had her head down. Sorry. Julie.
Nothing tonight.
I talked to Julie earlier, so I didn't think she had anything, but she could have surprised me. And Sarah Beth, I thought I had you covered, so
Well, I got one thing to add.
I knew you did.
Okay, well, actually three, yeah.
Thanks.
So I don't think I've been able to in a public meeting say, but we did receive a $100,000 grant from Festival Country.
Yay, good job.
And then I reached out, so that project is part of our Ready 2.0 grant as well. And so I reached out to see if there were any other projects in our region that weren't a go, if there would be any more available funding. And we got another $50,000 for Ready 2.0. And so that brings us up to $270,000 in grant money that we've received for the plaza so far. So things are rolling on that. We were supposed to have an inspector there today from Gosman Construction who's doing the demo, but they had an emergency. The inspector did, and so next Monday we rescheduled that for them to take a look because they have to get a state permit because it's a commercial building. So that's going on. And then this Friday is the chili cook-off at Tillman's with our fire department. So I know the fire department's making a bunch of chili, and you each vote $1, and all of those proceeds go to the Edward Cheer Fund. So that's happening. And then last week, the Washington DC trip went on sale at the community center and sold out in less than 1 day.
Oh, wow.
We've taken 48 people to Washington DC next April. Yep, and then we had like a barn painting, book painting class there this Saturday, and we had, people really enjoying that. There's a lot of things coming up over the holidays, using stuff at the community center, so I'll put the calendar out and look at it. Okay, that's it.
To piggyback off that for just a second, because Trafalgar was awarded,
100,000.
yeah, Brian and I worked together in Trafalgar, and they approached us, and I talked to John about this, since we have about 500 limestones out at the street garage that are gigantic. They would like to use them in building their amphitheater and put a plaque memorializing the dam, along with what we're going to do, which we hope to incorporate so that dam will be out more in Johnson County.
Yeah.
So I've offered to move them for Trafalgar and for us to haul them back and forth. So that's I don't know if Brian talked to you about that, but
Yeah.
that is something we're hoping to get those stones, if the council wishes to use those. Because I don't know what else we're gonna do with these things. But it would be great to have that memorialized throughout the county. So that's, I know you've talked to Brian, and I've talked to Brian quite a bit, so that's a big thing. We're hoping for that. Julie, I'm gonna follow back up with anything, because I'm sorry.
Good.
All right. All right, now I'll try this again. Anything from the public, please state your name, your address for the record. Jason, you got anything? Newton?
Sure.
Well, get up here.
So my name is Jason Newton. My home address is 5540 Solomon Drive, Columbus, Indiana, 47203. I'm actually here on behalf of Driftwood Utilities. And so we have met with some of the folks here in Edinburgh before, about interest in pursuing an agreement with Edinburgh as far as the sewer group. And so, we had previously looked at a couple different things with Westwork, and so we are still interested in doing that. I think maybe we got misguided as far as our engineering results from Westwork. Probably lack of communication, but in the end, I think they were trying to focus as Driftwood using Edinburgh at 100%, 105% with the growth. And that was not our intention. Our intention was to help Edinburgh get to 90, 80, 100% of capacity so that they're operating more efficiently. And in return, get a better rate for the Taylorville folks. And in time, in 5 years, 10 years, if we can make that 100% and build capacity in Edinburgh, then that's what we'll do. Initially, we thought we would, the original scope of the project was, can we get it? Can we come up there and want to get it? And where do we do that at? And so, I know that we looked at it from a couple of different things, 800 north, so I guess the question is does this council and the town of Edinburgh still have an interest in pursuing that?
Let me hear for just a second, Jason. So to get you guys up to speed with this, Driftwood Utilities is Taylorsville. Their water district is Eastern Bar. We have a interconnect with Eastern Bar Water Services, the water corporation. Driftwood Utilities has their own wastewater. They're currently piping that to the city of Columbus. Jump in, guys, if I'm going the wrong way. The original proposal met was because Columbus had a substantial increase, and they're paying that, and the customers are paying that to the city of Columbus, and it was brought to the connection to say, let's see if we can go to Edinburgh, which in turn generates revenue for our wastewater. It gives their folks better rates, and we start to actually function and make money is the hope and desire. This was brought together, John, feel free to jump in too if I'm missing something. I think I'm skirting around the outside of it, but there's more to this. So there was a desire to interconnect with us as Eastern Barton did with water. We just don't know if it's quite feasible. There were some things that were recommended for Driftwood Utilities that were just astronomical in cost, and that wasn't an option either. So I guess what we're trying to see is, does the council want to look into this further? Is it a dead matter? They're trying to find options, and it looked like it possibly generate revenue for our system. Bob, you got anything on that?
Yeah, I agree that it would be a source of revenue for Edinburgh. It would possibly offset future costs of expansion. I don't see the negative side of it. I'll put it further. So I was just waiting on seeing further communication from myself.
So I know I'm springing this on you guys, but it's something to consider. They've kind of ran into a roadblock. They're not getting much help. You I think you guys took on all your lift stations from the city of Columbus.
Right.
You know, they pretty much inherited everything, and now they're looking at potential growth, and with growth always is infrastructure has to grow. So they're trying to figure out opportunities for that, but Driftwood Utilities in Taylorsville is closer to Edinburgh than anybody else. So if we could have a good working relationship, we already, the police and the fire mix with that down there, and our water does too. So when our electric doesn't cross boundaries because of our, but we're one and the same down there. So this was just another, if it's financially prudent, is it something we could do? Because we're always looking at revenue streams to try to upgrade versus coming to the taxpayer dollar. So we know we're looking at major improvements. We spent a lot of money on geo bonds for wastewater because we have to. This just looked like another revenue stream to possibly get and then also help neighbor community.
I do have a couple concerns. Mr. Jesse, you stated that you don't see any negativity in this, but yet we've spent several thousands of dollars, and I don't mean any disrespect to you gentlemen at all, but we sat here and passed X amount of thousands of dollars to update some of your equipment to keep it going in reference to what we have now. So what's that gonna do for the future of your equipment to the plant? I understand the revenue portion of it, but I'm just worried about with the equipment that you have. That's question number one for you. Number two, will that do, if you go this route to try to assist them, will that do anything with our upcoming development to the north, if that would come to fruition with the Castle Rock development? That's the two things I have.
Yeah, that, I don't know. I don't know if that would have an impact on that development north, because we was under the impression that was gonna take place before, and then that just kind of fell away. So all we can do now is really base our decision on what we know is going to happen. Yeah, we know we have an interested party to connect to us with a predetermined amount of flow. So we know that's a positive thing for us. As far as the equipment goes at the plant, anytime you get equipment that's 20 years or older, you're gonna have wear and tear. It's gonna have to be replaced. I don't foresee that increasing the flow, changing, making things even worse than what it is.
That's where I was
Creating
getting.
a problem that things will last less.
Because what we have, if I'm standing correctly, is it was gonna wear out no matter what, it's time. It's not the flow, it's the time.
It's just the time, it's the years and years and years. And if things could be rebuilt, redone on a little more frequency instead of waiting until it's completely gone, it would probably be less expensive to do it.
So, and I might add to that, I mean, what we have is a 400,000 gallon a day system that we average. We have peak flows during a 4 or 5 inch rain at a gallon. What we're proposing is we don't have to send 400,000 gallons a day. No, we have 4 major sectors in our division. And we could say, let's start off with 200,000 or 300,000 gallons a day. And build this up over time, which would allow you all to, one, get a source of income stream, and two, find out if that is going to cause additional problems and whatever else. But the commitment we would be is, we're probably looking at $3 million to spend for Driftwood to put the infrastructure in to come north. Now, that is twofold, because we have a lot of commercial development on the west side of 31 that is looking at from Hardee's north. It makes more sense to go north to Edinburgh than it does to Columbus. Yeah. And we are getting a little aggravated with Columbus folks. They just keep changing the rates.
So in doing all this, we've got 2 major lift stations. One behind Hoosier area, we call it right across from Chevy K Farms. We've got another right across the road from West County Road 550, out there. My proposal on this is during the high peak flow times, we'll set that lift station to the south up, where we can continue to pump that south instead of having to bring it all north to you guys. That way, we can utilize both lift stations. One could be coming north, one could be going south. Instead of building a retention pond to hold all this and then pumping it to you guys at a later date. We've always got that option that way, closing and opening valves to send an opposite direction. You know, so that would give 100% to you guys.
So this is something that probably needs to be on the agenda, where they can present us with a presentation
Yeah, and
and
this was a
information.
conversation that Dwayne and Jason and I had, and I said, well, you guys need to know. This is a decision that the five of us need to make, and we're looking at the future. And I don't know that you can, and I think that's a very good point, and you had a fantastic point, but I don't think it's the flow that's wore us out, it's just the time. And Dustin just texted and said, correct, it's the agenda, so.
Yeah.
And you're right, but I think it's something now you have, okay, this is on the radar now.
Yeah.
And if it's something you want to do, then we can put it on the agenda, these guys can come back and look at it. But they didn't want to keep trying to drive down this route. I'm sorry, I was reading what Dustin put there. If there was a no-go here, right? So they had to see if there was peak interest. And this seemed like the most logical way to get it out here in front of you. I didn't want to put it on the agenda because this is the best way I thought to do it. And we can attack it if we want to. I think it's also too, is this can be, somebody's opinion isn't either. They know what we can get dosed. I mean, that's, am I correct in that, guys? Good. So that's not going to be just like, oh, we think, no, we know. So we'll know. We're just trying to look at ways to be more creative, to be gaining more financially.
Right.
You know, as they are as well. I mean, it's everybody's trying to. So, thank you guys for coming.
And you were talking about it being billed, we're billed only per thousand rate to the city of Columbus. That would do the same way here.
And it's new for us. Obviously, we've done interconnection with water. We've shared electricity. I don't think we've ever shared and took on wastewater. That to my knowledge, I don't think we've ever done that. But we all have to be creative. We're looking at Sunnyvale One, Scott, and we don't really know what that is, what that does for us. So, you know, we're not looking at a ton of money from our taxpayers. I don't know if we're looking at anything, quite frankly. So this is the burden on those guys financially. So it's just something to consider. If we do want to do it, we'll put it on the agenda, have these folks come back. And,
Well, I'm for that.
Yeah, because it's kind of over my head. I don't know what you just said.
I'm sure you're gonna have lots of information to provide us. And so, like I said, I wouldn't know what else to ask Mr. Jesse on the spot, other than, like I said, we've just spent this whole last year paying for equipment. And if you see, the first thing I think of is usage, taxing more usage, so to speak, that equates to more money. That's just where I'm thinking of, but.
And there is, I mean, Ryan's right, equipment in water, we call it water, but
loosely.
so it has a lifespan, whether you use it 20% of the time or 100% of the time, it has a lifespan when it's in water. And so that's just part of the business, you know, I mean, it's not a fun part of the business, but it is part of the business.
It's constant.
Our ultimate goal is you're more profitable running at 90% of capacity day in and day out than you are at 40%, and you still have to repair that. So I think that's all right.
Well, I personally, I'm not gonna speak for the rest of the board, but if you gentlemen wanna come back and be officially put on the agenda, and
I think that'd be wise, just let us know and give us some time to put something together.
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Are we good with that?
Yep.
Guys?
Yeah.
What are we running at efficiency now? Are we running at 40% or?
Well, right now, we have an average flow of about 450,000 gallons a day, the plant's designed for 1.5. So, there's plenty of room. We have the capacity. As far as the percentage of what we're operating on, we got my phone off.
Well, that's okay. That was, I was out of it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you,
very
gentlemen.
much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Any other public comment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you all for attending.
Emily, thank you for playing.
You're welcome.